On the last episode of the Main Street Chronicles, Brian and Stokes met at Jock Lindsay's hangar bar at Disney Springs and stumbled upon a mystery that drew their curiosity. With the help of Jock Lindsay and Meriwether Adam Pleasure, Brian and Stokes were introduced to the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, or as we came to know it, as C, as well as the Adventurers Club and how this journey began many, many years ago. Follow our adventurers as they uncover clues left by a mysterious coin that is never as it appears, as it is always changing. Welcome to Episode 2, Cruising. We pick up with Brian and Stokes trying to figure out what this coin is leading them to. They approach Jock at the bar, and he waves them off because it is happy hour, and there is not an empty seat in the house, leaving our young explorers without answers. They take it upon themselves to explore Jock's hangar to see if there are any clues that can lead them to an explanation of what this symbol means. Join our fearless adventurers as they chart a course around the world to uncover the mysteries of sea.
Brian, check this out. The markings on the back of this coin look similar to the symbol of the Jungle Navigation Company in this photo over here.
Whoa! What's the connection?
I don't know, but I saw a photo up in the loft that has a similar symbol in what looks like a blue and gold macaw sitting on a man's shoulder. Do you think we should ask Jock if he has any ideas on how this ties together?
Last call!
Stokes, what time is it?
2 a.m.
It feels like we haven't been here very long.
Well, Meriwether did say the whole concept of time is different here.
The bar slowly empties out, and before they know it, Brian and Stokes are alone again with Jock.
So, did Meriwether tell you all of his stories?
He told us a lot about the island's development, his family, and about a secret society. But you already know that, don't you? What exactly did you get us started on, Jock?
I don't know. You boys are gonna have to find out for yourselves. Did he give you anything?
Yeah, he gave us the coin back, but the markings changed.
Let me see that. Do you boys know what this means?
We think it refers to the Jungle Navigation Company.
So you know where that means we're going, right?
Well, we mentioned the macaw in the picture earlier.
So we know we were going south, but how far south?
You were on the right track. Boys, we are going down to the Amazon rainforest. You have been asking all of the right questions, and I had a hunch about you. Looks like Meriwether did too. Now let's see if you boys got what it takes to see it through.
Whoa. Jock, what are you talking about?
Oh, you'll see. Now go and get packed. Meet me here at dawn. Looks like we're going on that adventure after all.
As dawn approaches, Brian and Stokes arrive at the hangar just as instructed, yet Jock is nowhere to be found. Then, suddenly, they are both startled by the sound of the seaplane engines firing.
Sorry, boys. I couldn't find Reggie.
Who is Reggie?
Oh, that's just my pet snake.
Whoa, I don't do snakes, man. Keep that thing away from me.
Son, we're going to the Amazon rainforest. And in case you didn't know, it is the home to the largest snake in the world. Reggie is nothing compared to the monsters you're about to meet.
I think I left something in the truck.
Yeah, I don't think so. Let's go.
Jock flies our adventurers deep into the Amazon to find the JNC. Jock tells them on the way that they are looking for Dr. Albert Falls. As our adventurers land, they notice a young woman standing on the dock, waving in their direction. Jock steers the plane in.
Well, boys, welcome to the Amazon, home of the world's largest tropical rainforest and the world's largest snake.
Well, I'll be staying in the plane.
Reggie can keep you company.
No thanks. Let's go.
Hey, Jock. Long time no see.
It sure has been. I've been looking for an excuse to get back down here, and I finally found one. These boys may be the next chapter.
You really think so?
Well, looks can be deceiving. Boys, let me introduce you to Miss Alberta Falls, the proprietor of this here establishment. Alberta, meet Brian and Stokes.
It's nice to meet you. What brings you to the Amazon?
Well, Meriwether Pleasure gave us this coin, and it has a symbol on it that led us here.
Oh, Meriwether is already in on this too, huh?
He was at the bar.
Are you somehow tied to sea?
Well, sort of. We can't talk about it here, though. Follow me.
Brian and Stokes follow Alberta and Jock through the Jungle Navigation Company's compound and enter the skipper canteen, where they pass a room filled with Jungle Cruise skippers enjoying a meal on their break. Alberta leads them down a small corridor to a bookshelf and pulls out a copy of the Jungle Book. Suddenly, the bookshelf opens up to reveal a hidden room.
Welcome to the Sea Room, our official Amazon chapter headquarters. So, what can I do to help you fellas?
Well, Alberta, we are here to see your grandfather.
Oh,
Are you okay?
I don't know where he is. He went out on an expedition to Africa and has yet to return. It has been several years since anyone has heard anything from him. We fear the worst may have happened.
I'm so sorry to hear that. This may be hard to talk about then, but we need to know more about your grandfather and how he fits into all of this. Would you be able to help us?
Sure. Sit down and let me tell you about the wonderfully eccentric man that I called Grandfather. Did you know? Well, I'm sure you did. But he discovered the Shirley Temple in Cambodia in 1888. I still remember him telling me the story like it was yesterday.
While on an expedition down the Mekong River in the heart of Cambodia, from aboard my boat, I spotted the ruins of an ancient temple. It had been mostly destroyed by an earthquake many years ago, and what remained had become overgrown by the lush jungle vegetation. But I could still make out the temple's massive size. The locals I interacted with referred to it as the Sunken Temple, but I named it the Shirley Temple.
What was inside the temple? Was there treasure?
Well, my dear, it was so dark that my eyes hardly had time to adjust to find a match for my lantern before we started hearing strange sounds echoing through the darkness. Within minutes, the unsettling sounds began to strike fear within myself and my companions. Finally, I managed to locate a match in my pocket, and I was able to light my lantern, only to discover that all the sounds were being made by...
The temple god? Angry natives? Monsters?
Oh, my dear. It was just a group of mischievous monkeys playing amongst the treasures hidden in the temple.
Treasure? Oh, Grandfather, what did you bring back?
Alberta, we are not treasure hunters like some people that we know, but we are here to explore and preserve the past and share it with the future. These artifacts belong to the world and therefore should go to a museum.
Oh.
Now, Alberta, to become a member of C, you must protect the world and her history. So we cannot go chasing after our own fortune and glory. You must promise me to always uphold the standards set forth by those that have come before you. Promise me.
I promise, Grandfather. So what happens next?
Well, I saw something glowing in the light of my lantern, so I found a place to tie up the boat, and I hopped out to get a better look.
Oh, what was it?
Patience, my love, patience. As my legs adjusted to being on solid ground again, I pointed my lantern in the direction of the glowing object. To my surprise, it was a vibrant golden monkey statue, the size of a very large man.
Then what?
Unfortunately, then nothing. As I made my way closer, I had a feeling that I wasn't alone.
Well, there were the monkeys.
Yes, my dear, but this was something much, much worse. As I came closer, I could hear the low growl of what sounded like an angry tiger. Not sure where it was, I frantically shined my light in every direction until suddenly there it was. By the time my light hit the tiger, it charged me, and I dropped my light. I was all alone in the dark, as my companions decided to stay on board the Mekong Maiden. I tried to get back up, but I continued to fall. So I slowly and as quietly as I could crawled my way back to the boat. I yelled to my companions to untie the boat.
What about the tiger?
Oh, it was there, awaiting for its moment to attack. As I got to the boat, I jumped in just as the tiger made its move. Thankfully, the boat was already moving, and the tiger fell into the waters of the river.
Poor tiger.
Poor tiger? What about poor grandfather?
Well, Grandfather, you got away safely. And aren't tigers like all cats in their hatred for water? I'm sure he couldn't swim.
Oh, my dear, do I have a lot to teach you about the world's wildlife? Tigers, along with jaguars, are the only large cats who actually love being in the water.
Oh, I'm sorry for not knowing.
It's okay, love. We are all always learning.
What happened next? Did the tiger come after you?
No, the tiger has been there awaiting my return each and every time, where the water's edge meets the entrance of the temple. I have gone back a few times, but I have never gotten off the boat again. Now the temple has also become overrun with king cobras and giant spiders. So now I only use the temple as a passageway to one of my most favorite places on earth.
What's that, Grandfather?
An Indian elephant bathing pool.
Oh, Grandfather, will you take me someday?
Yes, my dear, when you get older.
Unfortunately, he was never able to take me there.
I'm so sorry. His disappearance must have hit you extremely hard.
It did. But it also led me to opening the Jungle Cruise to the public, so that we could spread my grandfather's message of preserving the world and her wild places.
That's absolutely amazing. So you take people on river cruises?
Oh, I don't. That crazy bunch out there does. I run the JNC and the Skipper Canteen, which is where we are now. All of these ventures help to fund my explorations.
Wow, that sounds really exciting. Wish we could come along on one of your adventures.
I'm extremely excited to meet 2 new explorers, but I need your help.
Hey, why are you looking so down?
Well, you actually showed up at an interesting time. A longtime friend of my grandfather has recently gone missing as well. There wasn't anybody around brave enough at the time to search for my grandfather when he was lost, but perhaps you two would be up to the challenge to help find his friend.
Absolutely.
Our good friend, Captain Mary Oceaneer, set out to explore the Caribbean waters and the surrounding Atlantic Ocean when she was caught in a hurricane. I got word just the other day of her disappearance, but the storm happened weeks ago. I have no idea where she may be, and I fear she may be hurt or worse. Since you have a plane, can you search from the air and see if you can find her?
Alberta, we've got you covered. I'll go and fill up the plane while you boys wrap things up here. Don't be long, we need to get in the air ASAP.
Well, I hate to run, but take your coin back. You boys will need it on your journey. I need to go and see what's going on out there. Feel free to look around before you go. There are maps, photos, and books all over that may be able to help you in your search for Mary.
Stokes, the coin changed again. What's going on? It has some funny symbol with a swirl and a dot in the middle.
Let's look through these books and see if any of them could help us.
Treasures of the Animal Kingdom by Harrison Hightower III? Nope. Here's another one by the same guy. In Search of the Yeti? Definitely not.
Hey, what about A Manner of Fact by Henry Mystic? Don't think so. He has a few more here too. Treasures from the Manor and Primates as Shipmates.
Hey, put aside that one about shipmates. Maybe that will have something in it. Here we go. Mary has a few books as well. Parrots as Pets? Nah. Charting Course? Jackpot. Maybe this book will give us an idea of what her boat looks like. Stokes, it looks like we're looking for a white ocean liner with blue trim. The MS Salty 4 looks big enough we should easily see it from the air.
Hey, I think I just heard Jock start up the plane. Let's go.
Brian and Stokes hurry out to the dock, startling a group of skippers as they rush by.
Wait, here are some snacks for your trip.
Thanks, Alberta.
Be safe on your journey, and I wish you luck as you search for our dear friend.
Are you boys ready?
Let's go.
Where to?
Let's head toward the Caribbean along the Florida coast. If she did get caught in a hurricane, she should be somewhere in the vicinity of the storm track. Hopefully she was close to shore when it hit.
Hey boys, I think I see something. I'm gonna take it down for a closer look.
Brian, do you think that could be it?
I'm not sure. It could be, but there isn't much left of the boat. Hey, Jock, put her down so we can go and check out the wreckage.
Are you boys sure? That looks like Typhoon Lagoon. That place has a history of destroying ships.
Well, isn't that what we're looking for?
Good point.
As our adventurers disembark from the plane, they see a woman sitting in a chair on the beach. Stokes and Brian run up the beach to greet her.
Excuse me, ma'am, but are you Mary Oceaneer?
I sure am. And that's Captain to you. And you are?
I'm Stokes, and that over there is Brian.
Hey, how are ya?
Are you okay there, son?
Yeah, it's a lot harder to run on sand than I thought. Is this Mary? Are you Mary?
You boys are looking for me.
Yes, ma'am. Alberta Falls sent us. She said that you were caught up in a hurricane, and she received word you could not be located, and she wanted to make sure that you were okay. So we are here to rescue you.
Oh, that Alberta. Oh, she sure is a sweetheart. I do appreciate you boys coming to look for me. But I don't need rescuing, and I am not missing, nor am I lost. I understand her concern since no one was able to go and search for her grandfather, but I didn't become a captain by having others rescue me.
So, you're here by choice?
Absolutely! This is paradise. Plus, I haven't found all the treasures I recently recovered yet, and I need to get them to port so that they can be divided up and exhibited in the world's museums. I think I may need the help of you both, as well as others. So I may start giving tours of the island in hopes that extra eyes can make this journey quicker, and I can get started on my next adventure.
Before we go off in search of your treasure, what can you tell us about this coin?
Oh my! Where did you get this? Well, the story of Atlantis is a story for another day.
Well, we got it from Jock first, and that led us to Merryweather, and he pointed us towards Dr. Falls, and Alberta sent us in search of you. We've discovered that all these people we've met so far have a tie to sea. So what's yours?
Well, boys, follow me to what's left of my ship, and I'll tell you about it. Welcome to the MS Salty 4, and let me introduce you to my first mate, Duncan.
He's a parrot.
Well, of course I'm a parrot. Were you expecting a dodo?
Did he just talk to me?
Mary, what's his deal? It's like he's never talked to a bear before.
They're new to this. Let's give them a pass this time. They are here to help.
So, Duncan, what are you doing with the spyglass?
I am searching for all of the treasure that got lost in the storm.
Have you found much of it?
What you see is all we have found.
Hang on a second. Is that you on the cover of Under the Sea Quarterly?
Why, yes. Yes, it is.
With all this talk of treasure, it got us off the topic of what we really want to find out.
And that is?
What is your involvement with sea?
Well, right now you're looking at it. In recent years, my main aim has been to find and distribute treasures around the world, which was going great until this mess.
If that has been your goal in recent years, what was it before?
One of my lasting contributions to the Society is the Oceaneers Lab. Basically, I donated my first ship to the Society, and it has since been solely devoted to encouraging, educating, and inspiring the youth in the art of exploration.
That's really interesting. So you have a passion for the past, with your eyes towards the future. So you, in a sense, are training the newest members of sea.
I hope that some will go on to become great explorers and not blinded by greed. In the Oceaneers Lab, there are artifacts from most of our prominent members. Some have followed the creed of sharing the treasures of the past with the future, and others have used their explorations for their own personal gain.
It sounds like you have a few members in mind when you say that. Did something happen with one of those members?
You could say that, but...
Mary! Treasure on the starboard side! Right? Port! Right? Right! Oh, bollocks! It's on the left side!
Wish we could stick around, but this treasure won't find itself. Before I go, take this.
Surprise, surprise. This coin has a different symbol on it. This time the letters are MP?
Hey, I remember that. It was on the cover of one of those books at the Skipper Canteen.
Our adventurers leave Mary and Duncan to their treasure recovery efforts and head back toward the beach where Jock has been waiting with Reggie.
Well, it looks like you found Mary safe and sound. What's next?
Back to the Amazon.
Our adventure continues to revolve around this single magical coin. Join our adventurers on social media as they begin to uncover the mystery behind this new coin.
We hope that you enjoyed this fun way of us introducing these new characters of sea. Now let's dive into the actual locations and how they play into the overall story.
We all know and love the Jungle Cruise. Now let's take a surface look at this classic Disney attraction. The Jungle Cruise is an attraction located in Adventureland at many Disney parks. The attraction simulates a river cruise down several major rivers of Asia, Africa, and South America. Park guests board replica tramp steamers and are taken on a voyage past a variety of audio-animatronic jungle animals. The tour is led by a live Disney cast member delivering a hilariously scripted narration.
So, the Jungle Cruise was already a long time established attraction by the time the Imagineers were developing the sea storyline. So how did they manage to tie these characters into such a classic attraction?
Well, Dr. Albert Falls was a scientist and explorer known for his ability to navigate the rivers of the world and his sense of humor. Among his discoveries were a sunken Cambodian temple known to some as the Shirley Temple, and most notably, Schweitzer Falls, and the backside of water. Dr. Falls was first mentioned in the attraction as a joke. The discoverer and namesake of Schweitzer Falls is actually Nobel Prize winner Albert Schweitzer. When the Jungle Cruise's backstory was expanded in 2015 for the Skipper Canteen, it was decided that he be turned into an actual character. He would also establish the Jungle Navigation Company, which is a shipping company he had hoped would improve the way cargo moved up and down remote jungle rivers around the world for his fellow explorers and adventurers. The headquarters of the JNC would also serve as his home, where he would entertain members of C in a hidden meeting room located in his library. When his granddaughter Alberta turned 8, she was sent to live with him, as her father recognized an adventurous spirit in her that would not be content with him traveling on the lecture circuit. Dr. Falls and his skippers would become a second family to her, and when he eventually disappeared, Alberta would become the new president of the Jungle Navigation Company, starting the first Jungle Cruise tours.
Alberta would also go on to take over as proprietor of Skipper Canteen. In 2016, the restaurant opened in Adventureland at Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World. The idea behind the restaurant is that the Jungle Navigation Company has decided to open the Skipper's Mess Hall to allow guests to enjoy its exotic, internationally inspired menu. But the real highlight of the restaurant is in the details. The restaurant was designed with multiple theme rooms in which to dine. First, the main dining room is the Skipper's Mess Hall, which is full of the Falls family mementos and even some early Jungle Cruise concept art. This is a spacious seating area, and observant guests will even notice a tribute to some famous Disney Imagineers. In the upstairs balcony, there are several doors with inscriptions such as Skipper Mark, Animal Biological Studies. This refers to Mark Davis, one of the most popular Imagineers in Disney history. He is most known for his character development on classic Disney attractions such as Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion, and the Country Bear Jamboree. Skipper Bill, Plant Studies. Bill Evans was included here because of his involvement in developing the horticulture design that is seen throughout Disneyland, and most notably the Jungle Cruise. Skipper Harper, Cartography. Harper Goff, like Mark Davis, was an artist that had worked with Walt Disney on some films before the opening of Disneyland. Harper was heavily involved with the creation of the Jungle Cruise and helped influence its story and design. The next room is located through a narrow, dark corridor of bookshelves. Once you make it to the last set of bookshelves, you will notice that a book has been pulled out to reveal a hidden room that is actually a secret meeting place for the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. This room is full of artifacts that have been collected and shared by explorers from all over the world. One of the more interesting features of this room is the wall that is adorned with preserved butterflies, which makes for an odd view while enjoying a meal. Overall, the Skipper Canteen is full of details and is actually the first attraction in Walt Disney World to go beyond hints and blatantly state its direct tie to the sea story.
One of the more interesting members of Sea that we have met is Captain Mary Oceaneer, who was first introduced to us via an oil painting among Lord Henry Mystic's collection. Captain Oceaneer is a treasure-hunting heroine who, according to legend, tamed the seven seas with her parrot Salty in her search of fortune. A diver, sailor, snorkeler, and navigator, Mary is a master of the nautical world. The RV Oceaneer Lab served as Captain Oceaneer's floating base for her deep-sea diving excursions and treasure hunting expeditions. She later donated the RV Oceaneer Lab to the Disney Cruise Line to be incorporated into their fleet of cruise ships. The RV Oceaneer Lab would go on to become the Kids Club areas aboard all Disney cruise ships. Artifacts line the walls of the public areas. These include a golden sword found on a deep-sea dive, along with her parrot Salty's custom diving suit to a more recent expedition to Castaway Cay that yielded a variety of buried treasures. Items relating to other members of the Society of Explorers and Adventurers like Lord Henry Mystic and Harrison Hightower III are also on display. Captain Oceaneer's fondness for pirate lore can be seen throughout the area as well. A painting of the first pirate knight, which holds a prominent spot in the craft studio, and shipping crates labeled as containing the remains of Shipwreck Cove and the Dead Man's Chest can also be found in the area. At an unspecified time years later in her career, Captain Oceaneer would replace the RV Oceaneer Lab with a new vessel known as the MS Salty IV, and it ended up getting caught in a hurricane and running aground at Typhoon Lagoon. As she was traveling with a new parrot named Duncan at this point, it is possible that this ship was named for her old companion.
So far, we've discussed Captain Oceaneer's presence aboard the Disney Cruise Line, but her first real appearance at any of Disney's theme parks isn't where you might expect. As the legend goes, a rogue storm left her stranded in the waterlogged tropical paradise of Typhoon Lagoon. In 2017, the Walt Disney World Water Park debuted Misadventure Falls, the longest ride at any Disney water park. She already has a remarkable resume, but if that doesn't impress you, then consider that Captain Oceaneer appeared on the cover of Under the Sea Quarterly, and that the queue for her new water ride features references to the sea coat of arms. But the story doesn't end with the queue. Once on board the raft, guests climb into Captain Oceaneer's past and then journey through the tropical paradise. Join her and Duncan as they search for missing treasure lost among the wreckage of the MS Salty IV. Misadventure Falls is not only the first official sea-connected ride to debut in the United States, it's also the only Disney water park attraction ever to include an audio animatronics figure in the form of Duncan himself. One thing to keep an eye out for is the connection to Walt Disney Pictures' 2001 animated feature film, Atlantis: The Lost Empire. you can find a hidden message written in the Atlantean alphabet that Disney created on the outside of Captain Oceaneer's diving bell saying, "I come in peace." This would lead us to speculate that Captain Oceaneer may have found the lost city of Atlantis. In the coming years, be sure to keep an eye out to any hidden references that might support this claim. Be sure to check us out on all of our social media sites to follow along as we continue to uncover the history, fantasy, and legend that is Sea.
Thanks for tuning in to episode 2. We hope that you join us next month as we explore the yin and yang of Sea.
Tungaloosh!
You've been listening to the Main Street Chronicles, part of the Imagination Radio Network and a BRS production.
Or devils and black sheep, really bad eggs. Oh, you're still listening? That's not surprising. Just because I'm here, isn't it? Anyway, they wanted me to promote this show. So please like, share, subscribe, comment, and rate the Main Street Chronicles. Drink up, me hearty Joe-ho.